what is Christmas and what is it all about to you?
Well, I love Christmas personally, and I like buying presents for people. Like, I'm Christmas shopping at the minute.
I think that Christmas has become more about family than anything else.
It seems a lot more happier and friendly time of year. Yeah.
It's a lot more relaxed during this time.
Yeah, well, apart from all the shopping and that, yeah.
I love anything that makes me and people around me happy. I absolutely love, and so Christmas to me is a big one. I mean, everything from, you know, the lights, just the general buzz and vibes you get out in town just from people knowing that it's Christmas.
Do you think it has anything to do with Christ or?
Yeah, I know that about, like, obviously the birth of Jesus and that type of stuff. So I know it's quite Christ orientated and stuff.
Christ is in the name Christmas, isn't it? So do you think it has anything to do with Christ?
I think it still does, yeah, quite a lot. Mostly the religious people, they symbolise that with, well, associate it with that a lot more.
2014 AD, as you're probably well aware, which stands for Anno Domini. Anno Domini is Latin for the year of our Lord. And the year of our Lord is referring to Jesus Christ. So what do you think the reason is for them making such a significant time and starting our calendar by it?
Well, I don't really know, but
I've done like RE over the past couple of years, and I know that, like, obviously the meaning of Christmas is to do with remembering Christ and stuff like that, and just celebrating.
Do you know why Christ was born at all?
Christ, I don't really know why Christ was born, but
it will have to do with something that Jesus would have done for us to make him as famous as he has. But to work out what that is, I think it's important to find out, do you consider yourself to be a good person?
well, sometimes, not always, but.
Now, this is where we're going to try and explain to you what our take on Christmas in regards to what we think is the greatest Christmas present and in regards to being a good person. So would you mind if I test to see if you're a good person with a little test we have?
Please.
Are you a good person, or would you say you're a good person?
I'd like to think so, yeah.
I think I'm a good person.
Yes.
And you?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so we're going to find out whether you really are. Now, you've been brought up in a Christian family, and you are a Christian.
Christian family.
You've been brought up as well. So you both know about the Ten Commandments. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to find out, based on the Ten Commandments, how well you compare. Are you up for it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Have you ever told a lie in your life?
Yes, many.
What do you call a person who tells lies?
A liar.
Have you ever stolen anything, regardless of cost, downloading music, or stolen anything when you were younger?
Yeah, I did get caught stealing from a shop when I was younger, and I've never stolen since.
Did you steal around Christmas time?
No, it wasn't around Christmas time.
What do you call a person who steals things that doesn't belong, or takes something that doesn't belong to them?
Not overthinking it this time.
The hang of it now, I think. Okay, we do two more. Commandment number 3 says, don't take the name of your God in vain. Have you ever done that? Have you ever said, oh my God, or something like that?
Before, yes, yes.
Before, you mean you've done it, yes?
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I have.
You're guilty of that one?
I'm guilty of that one, yeah.
Okay, right. Well, this is apparently a big deal in the Bible. In Exodus 20, it says, I won't hold him guiltless who takes my name in vain.
Have you ever looked upon another person with desire, specifically with lust in your eyes, in your heart? Because
Well, not really. I'm not really bothered about it like that, but.
well, I don't know which warm-blooded male has not done that. Would you agree with me?
Yes, I would.
So you're just like the rest of us. You've done that too, yes?
Yes, I would.
Jesus said, whoever even looks at another person with lust has committed adultery in his heart. So have you ever looked at a person with lust in the past at any time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Does it count if it's celebrities?
Fair enough.
Based on that standard, it's, by your own admission, you're a liar, you're a thief, you're an adulterer at heart and a murderer at heart, according to biblical standard. And this is why we have to explain this to talk about the ultimate Christmas present. So based on that standard, before God, would you be innocent or guilty of breaking his law?
I would be guilty.
How is that going as far as your good person test going?
Not particularly well, no.
Brilliant, right?
No.
And there are another 6 commandments pointing at you and me, because we just looked at 4, right?
Yeah.
I'd be guilty.
Would that be heaven or hell?
I think he'd look past that and hope that I'd go to heaven.
Because he would look at the heart and you'd see what's in
the heart. I've got a nice heart.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is that what he sees in the heart is an adulterate heart, and he sees
adulterate.
If you were to be judged by God on that by that standard, would you be innocent or guilty?
So guilty.
So yeah, you'd be guilty, but
then that's that. I mean, it's not the point. You should try your hardest not to do those things.
Yeah.
But my understanding is the reason why God sent Jesus to earth is He understands that people are going to be sinners.
The logic says that I'd be going to hell.
Yeah. Would that concern you?
It does concern me around those parameters.
Based on that parameter, if we've broke the law and He's a just God, we're in big trouble. Okay, so you obviously recognise that, so you'd be headed for hell on that basis. Would that concern you? Let's just say that that's the way it is. Would that concern you?
It does, yeah. That does concern me, especially the idea of having everything I've done be judged, you know, because some things you do forget about them.
What would you tell God on Judgment Day if that happens?
I'd say I was sorry and that I didn't know I was breaking the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what else I'd say because I've already done it.
Do you think it will work if you said sorry?
I don't know because I've already broke them.
That's true. That's true. If you're a criminal and you appear before a judge,
and you can't just say sorry because it doesn't excuse your crime.
Okay, would it be heaven or hell based on that standard alone?
Hell.
hell.
Would that concern you?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not joking. No. No.
You've received the bad news that we are condemned before God. Okay, so the good news is this. Plato asked this question: how can a just God, how can He forgive unjust people?
Does it concern you that you were head that way?
Yes, it does.
There is good news though.
He came down himself 2,000 years ago and He died a horrible death on the cross and rose again on the third day to pay for your crime. That means on Judgment Day, when your court case comes up, God can let your case go, or He can dismiss your case on grounds that your crime has been paid for by another person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this way both justice and mercy has been fulfilled entirely. There is something you've got to do, Natasha. Can you guess what it is?
What have I got to do? I don't really know.
Well, Natasha, you have to say sorry.
Okay.
That's called repenting, right? There's a big word. It's called repenting. It's more than sorry. It's being really remorse and turning away from those things that you've done. Yeah? So you don't do them anymore.
Okay.
You turn away from them. And then you do the biggest thing of all, which is putting your trust in Jesus. Let me explain to what that means. You know how you said to me that you were a good person?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I said, if I'd ask you then, would you make it to heaven? You would have said,
yes.
that's putting your trust in yourself, right? Well, if you put your trust in yourself, where are you going?
Hell.
That's right. So you put your trust in the person who paid for your fine, which is Jesus, wholeheartedly. Yeah, make sense?
Yeah.
So when will it be the right time for a person to do that?
Well, anytime they can, really, I suppose.
As soon as possible?
Yeah.
When would you consider this?
Whenever I can. Whenever I can.
Will you do it later?
I'll do it later.
You promise?
Promise.
Okay, good. Another minute. We don't wait another minute, yes? Okay, good. Well, Natasha, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.
Remember, you've got to say sorry to God and turn away from those things and not offend them anymore. You know, something interesting happens when you do that. It gives you a new heart, gives you new desires, and all of those things you would think is impossible right now to do, you'll do it so naturally because God will help you. Make sense? Yeah?
I think, can I just say, okay, I'm interested to tell you publicly, but I think God is after Tom because he's always been surrounded by Christians, including like now you're living with me.
Yeah.
Tom, you're in trouble. God is after you.
I have accidentally lived with Christians for the last 5 years of my life, so yeah.
So Tom, you're going to give that some serious thoughts and you're going to make a decision one way or another, right?
Yes.
Good man. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Tom. Thank you so much for your time.
It's all right.
Thank you for your time, Tom.
No, I've never heard in so much detail, and it is really, really interesting.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.